Okay, hi, this is Teacher Paul, or some parts of my life, some periods of time, I am Pastor Paul. I've been a pastor several times. I was pastor of a local church, the Sterling Valley Community Church here in New York State, through some really difficult times. It was the COVID shutdown time. And it was tough. It was a small congregation. They had been shocked by what happened in the past with some other people involved. And wow, I realized that I really need help. Jim and Laura Bishop, who helped me immensely when they were members of a local church. And Jim and Laura came alongside of me, and they did it in a way that is not bad. There was nothing untoward in what they did. There was no nefarious thinking. They weren't motives, weren't what they could get out of it. They weren't trying to cut a deal or do something like that, or there was nothing that was evil or misappropriated, but they helped me a lot. And I've asked Laura, I think Laura's going to speak. She's going to give us her perspective on how to help your pastor. You're going to enjoy this.
Hi, my name is Laura Bishop, and my husband Jim and I are members of Sterling Valley Community Church in Sterling, New York. And Ty Paul has asked me to prepare a video for you on how to support your pastor emotionally. There is an aspect of supporting your pastor that is frequently overlooked, but it is paramount. Emotional support of your pastor is often not thought about by congregants, but it is crucial in building up and maintaining a pastor in any church. So often, church members look up to their pastor so much that they put him on a pedestal. Your pastor is a man, just like any other man. He has emotions and feelings. He counsels people and he listens to their problems. He handles and mediates disagreements that church members may have with one another. He has many other aspects of his job, like preparing sermons, organizing worship, financial management, evangelism, overseeing youth programs, and much, much more, and must always be above reproach in his daily living. Sounds stressful, doesn't it? It's a challenging occupation. More and more often, pastors have increasingly high rates of burnout and depression, especially among younger pastors. Recent research has shown that up to 40% of current pastors question their call. Being a pastor is challenging and exhausting because the pastor often feels a huge, unrelenting responsibility toward his congregants. He may feel chronic stress, isolation, and extreme discouragement. So how, as congregants, can we support our pastor emotionally? Get to know your pastor and his family on a personal level. Take an interest in them and learn about their personalities. Invite them to your home, meet for coffee, or invite them to an event. Inquire about their personal lives, hobbies, backgrounds, goals, and dreams. Offer the same information about yourself and your family. During this time of mutual sharing, you may hear of problems and struggles your pastor has. Listen with a compassionate and loving ear and ascertain if there is something you can do to support your pastor. Is your pastor's wife going to have an upcoming surgery? Organize people in your church to provide daily meals for your pastor's family. Is your pastor giving small clues that indicate that he is getting tired and burned out? Suggest and arrange for a study leave of absence or a continuing education opportunity for him to take in order to recharge his batteries. Does your pastor have an elderly parent who is ill or who could use some help taking care of their home? Gather up a group of teenagers or adults from your church to work on projects at their home or take them to doctor appointments. Another way to ensure your pastor's health and happiness is to encourage him to meet regularly with a mentor or a spiritual advisor, preferably another pastor who has more years of experience. This mentor has been through similar, if not exactly the same challenges and experiences, and can offer sage advice like no other. Or the mentor can just listen, be a sounding board, and provide encouragement. A network of your pastor's peers, who could be other pastors and spiritual leaders, who meet together as a group regularly, can also provide the type of support that is meaningful and relevant to your pastor. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, "Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do." Your pastor is constantly giving of himself to his congregation. Isn't it a worthwhile and loving thing to show your love toward him? Even very small acts of service or small unexpected gifts directed toward your pastor mean a great deal to him. Something you do may seem sort of trivial to you, but it may be perceived as monumental by your pastor. Supporting your pastor on an emotional level is crucial now more than ever before in our increasingly secular and sometimes hostile social environment. Life is full of stress, and pastors have more than their share of stress. Be a kind, supportive, sensitive congregant to him, building him up and edifying him. 1 Peter 3:8-9 admonishes us, "Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren. Be pitiful, be courteous."
Hi, I am Jim Bishop. I'm Laura's husband, and I'm an elder for Sterling Valley Community Church. I've been an elder there for just a couple years now, and it was a new thing for me. We had changing pastors, and through that process I had to learn about emotional support and how important that is to pastors. And that was particularly important with our current pastor because he leads a number of missions and frankly doesn't have time to be a pastor. So we promised him up front that we could support him and make this a possibility so that he could be our pastor. And through this process, I've gotten to know his family and spend quite a bit of time with his family, actually. And I help him. He has a farm, and I help on the farm itself and do a number of things to help ease up his time, to free him up to better serve our church. And it's been a real blessing to me to get to know the family, and hopefully it's been a blessing to them as well.
When I think of the help that I received from Jim and Laura, and again, I'm not talking about monetary or any physical help or any promises or deals. I'm just talking about helping me through dark times. As I sit here, you can't see it, but I'm looking at the Laura light. Laura knows that in the wintertime here in New York it gets dark. She bought me a light that simulates sunshine. Tries to cheer. I don't know if it works, but it cheers me up thinking somebody tried to make me feel better. But there's a Bible verse that I want to bring to your attention. And this is where I want you to be regarding you and your pastor. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 16. "The Lord give mercy unto the house of Onesiphorus, For he oft refreshed me and was not ashamed of my chain. He oft refreshed me. The bishops, Jim and Laura, they oft refreshed me. They encouraged me. They were a blessing. They were good partners to listen and to pray with, and they just generally positive and encouraging. God bless them. God bless the house of Onesiphorus, and God bless your house as you minister to your pastor.